Letting go of control for more pleasure is something that a lot of people, especially women, struggle with, but can really start to unlock not just your enjoyment and fulfillment in life, but also your sexual pleasure and the intimacy that you feel with yourself and with your partner. My name is Sarah. I'm a women's sexuality coach and empowerment coach. And today we are talking about exactly that, letting go of control. And Facebook has disabled my account again, so I can't go live, but I'm posting up this video after the fact. So, control, let's look at this. This is something that I've looked at in my life. I'm working with clients around this. I am a fucking genius at working with this stuff. If this is you and you start to recognize any of yourself or any of your parts in this, I really encourage you to get in touch with me and consider working one on one, because this is where we can really start to get into the nitty gritty and make drastic, transformative change that brings more pleasure, bliss, enjoyment, fulfillment into your life. So, control. Control is a safety mechanism. It is something to be celebrated. Okay, so I'm just going to put a spin on this right from the very beginning, because often control can be pushed into a corner as the bad child, and no one really likes this kind of over controlling nature that can sort of come out and block us from experiencing what we really want to. But without any control in life, life would be a complete mess, right? Control allows us to feel a sense of safety around us, a sense of things being in order, and that also allows our nervous system to relax. So let's imagine control on a continuum. So down the very end here is extreme control, and down here is no control at all. So I'm suggesting that we probably don't want to be on either extremes of the continuum of control, but somewhere in the middle. And when we're in the middle, it means that you're able to choose. Okay, and this is the really key point here, is that you can choose when it's helpful for you in your situation to be more controlling, and you can choose when it is okay for you to relax and release and let go and allow the waves of bliss, whether that's sexual or whether that's in life force energy, to move through you so you can feel amazing. So this is why you might want to start to explore or start to self-evaluate. Okay, where am I on this continuum? And it'll change, of course, every day and with the situation that you're in, with the people that you're in. But generally, what I find with women and with my clients is that they're a little bit more on the over controlling side. And that is blocking them from their potential and from their bliss. So, control is a safety mechanism. It's not necessarily something that we control within ourselves. It's just something that comes up, right? So, it's something that is inside of us. Something is getting triggered on the outside, and then we have this mechanism, the safety mechanism, that comes up and goes, oh, okay, I need to organize this so I can feel safe and so I can relax. So this is really important, because safety is a prerequisite, is an absolute foundation for being able to let go, relax, release. Yeah, safety. So safety can come from a few different places. It can get a little bit complex if you've experienced any trauma in the past. And in fact, I would say all of us have experienced trauma on some level, whether that's a big trauma or a small trauma. So trauma and past experiences sometimes teach us, maybe not necessarily truthfully, but teach us that in certain situations that it's unsafe, okay, and that we need to protect ourselves. And in certain situations, that's amazing. That's a really great mechanism, because we need that. We need to be able to keep ourselves safe. And in other situations, it's a bit of a falsity. Okay, we are actually safe, but our body or our nervous system feels like we're not. Okay, and so when your body's doing that, let's say you're being intimate with your partner and you're going, I'm safe. I'm with my partner who loves me, but I'm noticing that I want to like control or I want to tense up. Um, then that's okay. That's just a mechanism. That's not something you control. And it's something that has been learned as a behavioral pattern from somewhere in your past. So, what I'm saying here is that trauma and past experiences can complicate our ability to discern between when we need to protect ourselves or when we need to be in control and when we don't. So, just highlighting that and then moving on from that, there's a couple of different ways that you can build safety in the moment. And when I'm talking about safety, it can be safety in everyday life. Okay, so it may be that you feel like you're a bit over controlling in terms of your calendar and planning things and wanting to know all the details to a certain T. And that's great, but you also recognize that it takes away from your ability to be spontaneous and be in feminine flow and maybe have more creativity, and actually being more in that feminine flow would bring you more pleasure. Okay, so it can be applicable in life. It can be that you spend a whole pile of your time organizing things when actually what would bring you more pleasure is to just not be so controlling or anal over that and allow yourself to relax and go to the beach and just hang out. It could be to do with your dynamic in your relationship. Maybe you're the one that's always organizing or controlling things, or you like things done a certain way. Maybe you like things done your way. Maybe your partner can never do them the way that you like them. And so then that causes conflict. And to bring you more back into pleasure and bliss and enjoyment would be to allow your partner to do things in the way that they want to do things, right? Or allow them to have certain control and decision making in the relationship. So there is this idea of bringing more bliss, letting go of more control in everyday life, but it also happens in the bedroom and your sexuality. So if you ever feel like you're wanting to control your peak level of pleasure, don't want to say too many words here because then I'll get banned from social media. I think you know what I'm talking about. But if you're trying to control that generally brings more tension into your body. You feel more tense, and as soon as your body is more tense, then you are shutting down the energy flow of your body, which is the energy is what carries bliss and pleasure into your experience. So it'll drastically reduce your ability to experience peak pleasure or pleasure in general if you are trying to control the situation, have it done your way, or you're trying to control how your body is responding in the moment. Okay, you can try and control your body, and that'll only get you so far. But if you can relax and release and surrender, then you will allow waves of bliss to come into your being. So how do you build more safety? Well, I break it down into internal and external safety. And I work with this so much with my clients. This is why I'm a body-based coach, and we do a lot of mindfulness and practices, and I start to bring in things like self-pleasure, because all of these practices bring in safety into the nervous system, because you need your nervous system and your body to feel safe to be able to release control. Okay, I'm going to say that again, because it's not your mind that fully needs to be able to release, although your mind is a part of it. Your body needs to feel safe in order for your mind to be able to release. Okay, and your body feels safe by a calm nervous system. And you get a calm nervous system by going within, by breathing, by using mindfulness, body-based practices, self-pleasure. So this is internal safety. So internal safety is where you are able to resource and go within and find safety within. Now, if in your life you have had safety taken away from you, perhaps childhood or an acute experience in adulthood, this will take more time to start to build this up. But it is possible for everybody. You are able to learn over time and with practice to feel safe within your own body. And that means that you trust your body. It means that when you get into certain situations that feel threatening, whether that's emotionally threatening, physically threatening, socially threatening, you are able to come into your body and feel calm and relaxed. Okay, now for some of you, that's going to be a pretty far out there thing. You might be thinking, like, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do that. But there are certain progressions and certain practices that I give my one-on-one clients so that they get to the stage where they are able to, even in stressful situations, resource and tap into their own body as a sense of pleasure and calm. So that's how you would build internal safety. And the more you build internal safety, the greater your capacity is to handle anything that's going on in the external. So let's relate this back to the bedroom. If you are struggling to let go, you know that your partner's safe, your environment's safe, your external environment is safe, but you're struggling to let go into full pleasure. I would suggest that it's because you need to build more safety within your body first, okay, on your own, outside of being in that sexual context. It can be that if you have a loving, supportive partner, they can also support you in this, and I do give couples practices to be able to go there. But definitely a really easy, accessible way of building safety in your body is to start on your own. Start with yourself and then add in the energy of somebody else. It can vary depending on what works for people, or a combination of both, and who your partner is and who you have available. The other good way of really starting to build safety and regulating yourself is to work with somebody, is to have a coach, because they also help you regulate yourself, and then you start to get that transmission and build that skill and that ability inside of yourself. Now, external safety, this is your physical environment. So if you're struggling to feed yourself, or you don't have a roof over your head, or there are literally threats to your safety, then of course you're going to be more controlling, right? Like, that's actually a really helpful aspect of being controlling, because you need to control your sense of survival. Where this gets a little bit complicated is where we feel like our external environment is not safe when it actually is. So, for example, with your partner in the bedroom. So you can do certain things to tell your nervous system, literally talk to your body, to let you know that your external environment is safe. Okay, and the body's language, the way that it communicates, is through sensation and through the senses. So things like really nice lighting. So not having like bright fluorescent lights in your face. How about you just create a space where there's like dim lighting and it feels really nice? And this could be for your evening practice. This could be before you go to bed, and love making. But setting up beautiful spaces with really nice lighting. Bring in some nice scents, like maybe you've got some essential oils or plants or flowers that you want to have around you. You can also have really nice visual things in your space. So, you know, this beautiful backdrop, or again, plants or things that bring you a lot of joy. You can also do things like physically lock your door. So this can give you a real sense of safety. So this would be for your practices or when you're being intimate with your partner, and that helps to let yourself know, let your nervous system know that your physical space, your physical environment is safe. Now, you also need to have trust in your partner if you're being physical with your partner. And that's going into a bit more that we're going to go into in the video, but that's really looking at how is your relationship and how much do you trust your partner? How well does your partner support and hold you, not just in a sexual sense, but in an emotional sense and in a physical sense, like do they help you out in the kitchen, for example? Do they help you out with the housework? Like, do they let you know? Are they giving you signals that you are safe, right? That you're in a safe relationship. And then that translates into the bedroom. So if you don't feel safe with your partner, or you don't feel emotionally safe, you don't feel like they can hold you at all outside of the bedroom, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to release control and surrender into them inside of the bedroom, right? And this is where sexuality is, it's not something that's siloed or it's out there on its own. Like, that's why I do life coaching and sexuality coaching, because there's such a blend of the two. Sexuality and how we feel in our bodies and in our intimacy is often a reflection of how we feel outside of the bedroom, how we feel in everyday life. So if you are looking to release control and bring more bliss and pleasure into your life, here is a sum up. The first thing is that control is a good thing. You don't have to completely get rid of it. That would be crazy. But notice where you are on the continuum at different situations, different circumstances. Then choose. So bring in this aspect of choice about where you want to be on this continuum in order to feel the most pleasure and the most bliss. Know that past trauma can complicate and make it harder for you to feel safe, which is a prerequisite for control. But it is actually absolutely possible for everybody to start to bring more safety into their body. I do this with my one-on-one clients, and I really recommend some mindfulness, some body-based practices to help you bring safety into your body on your own with yourself first. So 2 ways that you're going to feel more safe so that you can release control into more pleasure is to go internally and build your internal resources of pleasure and safety, and externally. So create an environment around you where you're not completely in survival mode all the time. And if you are wanting to create a wee safe space for yourself so your nervous system can relax, then start to bring in aspects like senses and locking the door and creating physically safe spaces for you to be able to relax into. You can also do this for your partner if your partner is struggling to let go as well. So I hope this is super helpful. Please message me if you have any questions or you want to resonate with anything that I've said. And if you are interested in one-on-one coaching, I go so deep with this. I can blow your mind. I'm amazing at what I do. And I'm really here to help you work through this so you can have more pleasure and bliss in your life, right? Because why would you not want to have that? And one-on-one means we can go really tailored, straight to the point, get you there quicker, faster, and easier. My name is Sarah. It's been such an honor and blessing to be with you today, and here's to a pleasure-filled, mind-blowing life.